ages, actually, and you were Jaden the Jester.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that, but born and raised in Sarnia.
Yep.
Yeah. How was life growing up?
Well, I was a little bugger, maybe, a bugger. My dad was a police officer, and I don't know, maybe I took it for granted a little bit. I used to get in trouble and I don't know, stupid stuff, but yeah, it was fun at the time, but...
Yeah, right.
But no, and then I had kids, and yeah.
What did that...
I grew up.
What did that... Did you? Like,
well, somewhat. Like,
not that I'm arguing with you, but what, like, school was fun and you went through all that stuff, and then, you started a business too, which you still have, right? A roofing business?
Yep.
And what's that called?
Blue Water Roofing.
Yeah. How did you get into roofing?
When I was like 13, I was in grade 8. My brothers did it, and then I came out in the summer, and then I did it, and then through high school, it was just something to pick up money, make some money in the summer vacations, and yeah. And then I went to college. Like I was in Toronto for a while, and then I moved back.
What did you take at college?
Film and television production.
Oh, yeah.
Or radio and television production.
Okay.
And I was in Toronto. I was in a couple music videos, and then I moved back to Sarnia, then did the roofing.
Was that an intention, like you wanted to get into film and
radio?
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah,
I like
were
that.
you going to be a Howard Stern, or were you just going to be a calm DJ? I can't see you being a calm DJ.
Like in movies. I always like movies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right before
you've been in some movies.
Yeah. Right before COVID, I got probably the best gig of my life was in a TV show called C. I think it was on HBO with Jason Momoa. I had like a background role. It was union, sweet paychecks, and then COVID came and they shut down production. They were filming it, I think, in St. Thomas. They built this huge village. It was crazy, like a whole village just for this one portion of that show.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, and then that shut that down, and then...
and it never came back to life?
I think they just filmed it I don't know, in Hollywood, or they filmed it closer to where they are. They didn't, I don't know, whatever, but...
Yeah. What was that experience like?
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was long hours. Like, I don't know, 15, it was long hours, but free food while you're there. I like the food. The catering's awesome, but just a lot. I think anyone in movies and television, like, it's a lot of waiting. You're just waiting all day and night to go out there and film your thing.
Yeah, which could only be minutes after all that waiting, right?
Well, I was in the crowd. I was like an extra, and I was in this huge crowd.
Oh, okay.
So while the Queen, I haven't seen the show. I skimmed through it to see if I could find me. But the Queen, she does these speeches, and then there's crowds of people. And, well, it's funny, because they'd be like, the A group go out now. And then the A group would go out for that scene, and then they go to the B group. Well, I sneak out in the B group. So if you look closely, you'll see me. She'll turn the corner, and I'll be like, that's me in the blue again. That's me.
You got in there twice, did you?
I did.
And nobody knew.
No, I snuck right in.
That sounds like a Kevin Wyville I know.
No, it was fun. It was super fun stuff. I miss doing that.
Yeah.
But since COVID stopped, I haven't got back into the...
Right. But the roofing business, that was like you were doing that kind of at the same time?
Yeah.
And you're still doing that?
Yep.
That keeps you busy?
That keeps me busy.
You've built that into a successfully well-known.
Oh, there's some boxers over there. I don't know if you guys want to be interviewed or just keep chirping at me. We're going to be
here for an hour, so
come on in. We can meet Shaden and Xander.
We want to talk about you. We'll get to them another time. But
I'm just kidding. Then they run away.
So how long have you had that business?
21 years.
Wow. So you say that number out loud. Like,
I know. It's
forever.
I don't like getting old.
No.
But this makes me feel young.
You were a bartender at one time too.
I did do a little Patty Flaherty's, yeah.
I have a picture somewhere. It's you and a clock. That's all we'll say about that. You remember?
Oh, I do remember that picture. That picture still exists. I had fun.
It's probably in a box somewhere.
I had fun at that time.
Yeah. But then, so you've got 2 boys?
2 boys. Noah and Adam. One's 15. One's 17.
Yeah. This chapter that you've come to now, boxing.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing you, you know, because I know, like, you know, your brother Steve's a boxer, and you know, we know a lot of the same mutual folks. And I got to tell you, when I first saw Kevin Wyville is boxing, my first thing is, wow, that's really interesting. I didn't see that picture. But at the same time, knowing you as I have, I also felt like if he's doing this, he's all in.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? Because you just take everything on and you just go.
It's like during a midlife crisis, some people buy a sports car, right? Some people just like to get punched in the face, you know. No, it started during COVID. I built a gym in my garage.
Okay.
And I hung a couple bags. Oh, well, we'll rewind. So my brother Steve, he was a police officer too. He just recently retired. But he won the Golden Gloves at a later age. He was in his 40s when he won the Golden Gloves.
I know, it was incredible.
My dad won the Golden Gloves back in his day. And I did do a little boxing before at River City. They used to Steve boxed through Tim Taylor at River City. And anyway, I did a little bit of training, nothing like this. But when I built the gym in my garage, I hung a couple bags and a speed bag, and then Noah, you know, playing around. I went and got some used gloves. And then one of his friends mentioned joining Blue Water Boxing Club. And I remember this place, especially the Taekwondo, because my kids did the Taekwondo in the basement. Yeah. But so then he joined, and then me and Adam were shortly after, and then it turned from sparring, it turned from holding pads for him and training, and then all of a sudden I watching them spar, and I'm like, I want to get in there. And actually I have a TikTok, K-Wive, and the first time I sparred, I get in there with my son Adam. He's 15 at the time. I'm moving around. Boom! He punches me right in the face. I'm like, oh my God, what the heck? Those, they're padded gloves, but they hurt.
Right.
So I have the video.
You felt it?
Oh, I felt it in my reaction. I turned around, I walked away. I'm like, what the heck? I'm not doing this again. And then the next day you want to try it again, and you get used to it, and the reaction time of getting hit and keeping your composure and going back. It's a weird sport, but it's addictive. You get a lot out of it. You get in shape. It's a fun way to get in shape, and you don't have to fight to box. You don't have to spar. There's lots of people that train without sparring and fighting. So you don't have to
I just don't want to get in the ring at all. I'm a wimp. I don't want to take the hit.
Yeah, it's weird. It's different.
Was that your first hit?
Yeah, Noah punched me. Yeah. I haven't been hit since
And did you do you still hold that against him?
We spar. No, it's actually, it made me work on my defense more than my offense. So it made me okay, no one's hit me in the nose again, and they have. If you look at my nose, see how it comes out here? Yeah, so I did get hit again in the nose, but a few times.
Right. You but you really got in shape.
I did get.
You had some poundage on the front there, and you were, everything was. I mean, now
I lost 42 pounds. Yeah. But the training's crazy. Even the warm up, the training, I started jogging. I could jog 10 houses before stopping. Now I can do 3 to 5K, and I just got in shape. I don't know.
It's work.
It's work. Yeah. It's fun right now. I'm not going to do it forever.
Yeah. But I mean, the word commitment's obviously in there for anybody who's going to get in the ring and have, even an exhibition fight. There's some level of fitness involved in all
Well, an exhibition fight is basically two guys going at it, but if one guy falls and gets an 8 count, they'll stop the fight.
Right.
So you want to go in and show your skill and fight, but you don't want to, if you got a guy against the ropes,
you don't want to go in and kill him.
Well, and the ref will say ease back. So you got a guy against the ropes and you're doing this, ease back, and then you got to let him recoup. Right. Where a real fight, you're going until the ref stops. He gets an 8 count. He gets 2 8 counts. You win.
Yeah.
So I've had 2 exhibitions and 1 real fight.
Where was your first fight?
My first fight was last summer at a Boomers Novice tournament, and I won silver.
Yeah.
But I messed my eye up, and it was a big blood blister, and it was starting to shut. So they didn't allow me to do the second fight.
Okay. How did that feel though? Like that's your first fight and you like you took a spot.
Oh, it's scary. It's, it's weird. It's scary. It's exciting. I've never felt this adrenaline in my life. You're in that ring and you're just you and another person. It's you and them. And then you don't even see the crowd. You don't see anything. You hear your coach, that's it. You're just looking at them and it's a weird, and then afterwards, that feeling afterwards, I've never felt that in my life. It's a crazy, your adrenaline, you're just like, I don't know, you feel like a gladiator.
What would you call it? Like a gladiator.
Yeah, like the
victory.
Like gladiator. And then you don't hate your enemy. The first time I fought, I wanted to hate the guy. And I saw him, I'm like, I hate that guy. I'm gonna get, arr. And then I realized after, it's like you just hug and you're just at sportsmanship. A lot of like my son fights, Noah's had like 14 fights. He's became Instagram with friends with some of these kids. And you see the same people at these tournaments. You can't hate your opponent.
Yeah.
And you don't hate them. Maybe you're upset you lost or whatever, but you know what? You just keep going, and it's not about winning or losing. It's about just keep fighting. These guys up here, there's all the provincial champions and national champion posters behind us. I know you can't see them, but
I showed it before when I interviewed Tom.
Yeah, some of these people have like 50 fights, right? Win or lose, it don't matter. You just keep going. But like I said, I'm I'll be pushing 50 here, so I'm old.
Yeah, right.
So I'm in what's called a Masters division. It's 40 and up, 3.5-minute rounds with 16-ounce gloves is what I fight at.
What's the goal here for you in this? Like you hear people talk about why am I doing this?
If my kids quit, I'd probably quit that day.
Yeah.
It's just hanging out with my kids.
Yeah.
Like I'll start. I'm getting all choked up here. We trained together. We fought together. We fought in Turks and Caicos, 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Which was a different story there, but
yeah, we'll come to that.
We trained together. We fought together 3 weeks ago in Turks and Caicos. We all fight together this Saturday coming up at a house show in Sarnia, and all three of us are entered in the Quebec Cup at the end of the month.
Yeah.
And we're going to Scotland as well. Those two are fighting, but I'll be in their corner. But I'm not fighting. But I'm fighting at the Quebec Cup at the end of the month.
So this is is that right? Quebec Cup?
Yeah, but what's that? What was the question? What's the outcome?
Like, why are you doing this?
Oh, it's the kids, hanging out with my kids. And then, it's not just that. Then all of a sudden you start getting good at it. And all of a sudden you're starting to move and you're sparring and you're hitting and then you're not getting hit. And all of a sudden you're like, it's just an addictive feeling. Right? Yep. Yeah. Yep. And it's skill.
I was going to say, you're learning a new skill.
You can't go in there and say you're a tough guy. I'm a tough guy. I'm fight.
Yeah.
But you need the skill because you'll come in and just do these overhands or something and someone will just pick you apart and move a deke. You get humbled. Boxing can be humbling. I know guys and kids in here that are 15 that could kick almost all my friends' butts. And they're 15, and I'm not kidding. And you've seen them. You've seen these
kids working out and everything. I've seen them. Yeah.
All different shapes and sizes, but some of these 15 to 17-year-olds are very talented and so you get humbled here.
And there's, and you're not the first one to say that I've interviewed. And there's a family aspect to all. I mean, outside of, Adam and Noah, right? I mean, we just had kids in the background. They were kind of picking on you, smiling. And
absolutely. You're part of a club.
Yeah.
You're part of a club. We train together. Like literally, it's so weird. You're in there giving each other bloody noses. You're punching each other in the head.
I don't get.
Before we go, we'll put some gloves on, and you could try and punch me in the head, and I'll show you. I can take it, man. But
I'm not worried about hurting you. I'm worried about hurting me.
No, I won't. But we're. Like you're punching people in the face, you're getting a bloody nose, but you're not angry at that person. You are helping each other get better. Yeah. So when you do fight, all that sparring led up to that fight.
There has to be some emotional control in it too, I would think, because like I don't know, like if you hit me, hate me or not, I don't like that. I don't know how I would.
There's definitely control.
Discipline, I guess.
There's discipline, control, and you know what? Some people, gets, especially when you go to other gyms and spar. So I've been to other gyms, and some of them just, there's hard sparring where it's not as controlled as sparring your own teammates. This is going to other gyms. So,
and I have
but the thing is,
go ahead.
Well, you can't. If you let your emotions go and start raging, you're going to get tired out.
Yeah.
And the second you get tired out, that other guy's going to use that as his advantage to come in. And
I've seen fights. In fact, I remember a fight. This is going back into the 90s, actually, when I first met Frank the Hammer.
Yeah.
And he was fighting at, was the 914 hall at the time. And there was a fella came in, he was new, and they stopped the fight because he just went crazy, like he was street fighting. And he was an angry fighter, and they were just like, I mean, he was killing the other guy, but not in the, like he wasn't boxing.
Right.
He was fighting, right?
Right.
And saw it kind of last year too. There was a couple of fights that I saw, and they were stopping the fight, and it was like, so I mean, as punchy as it is, when you're in the ring, safety is a factor when it comes to being a referee too, I would think.
Yeah. Especially this is amateur boxing, right? So it's also your first 10 fights, they're a little more stricter as far as getting hurt. Like if your head goes back too much, they'll stop it. Where when you're above 10 fights, you're classified as an open fighter. They let a little bit more go. But I don't know, you can get hurt, but it's very rare to get knocked out cold in amateur boxing.
Right.
It does happen. It was at a tournament I saw, but I didn't see that particular fight, but it does happen.
Yeah.
But it's not as bad as pros without headgear and little tiny 8-ounce or whatever they're wearing. I think they 8-ounce gloves or
with
something.
tape. And all that.
But
sorry, go ahead. You're gonna.
Oh, you said Frank the Hammer and his son Mike White's doing good right now.
I just saw Mike on the way in here to talk to you, actually. Yeah.
Provincial champ, boxing with the national team and stuff. Yeah, he's doing really good.
Who's your coach?
Tom Hennessy.
Yeah. What's I mean, when I interviewed him, geez, I probably could have had a 4-hour interview with that guy for all the things he's done, even outside of boxing. But what is it about Tom that you and I'm not making you kiss up here, but what is it about Tom that you like as a coach?
I would say his passion for the sport and his passion for this club. Yeah, that guy's got passion for this. Like he comes in the morning, he comes at night. He's well known and respected throughout because I've been at tournaments and saw other
not
people.
Just in Sarnia.
Like Brampton Cup.
Yep.
Is one of the biggest tournaments. And he's full into this. And he's great with the kids.
Yeah, he is. Even the big kids. What's the one thing that Tom has taught you that sticks out the most for you?
How to fight?
But what piece of that? Because there's a lot of variables going on there.
I don't know. It's not just to fight, it's the discipline and what it takes to do this.
That's probably the biggest thing.
Right? You need dedication and discipline or you need the cardio, you need the skills. I used to fight really down like this. And I still do, but I fight down like this. And I got to stand up more and be taller and not be so down. There's one thing's like he's polished off and just to move, and I don't know. When
you came into the ring, like I think there's something to be said for somebody who's coachable, like being coachable. Like, did you come in thinking that you knew a bunch of stuff? Or
no.
Did you, or anything, or did you just take anything you thought you knew and just go, okay, I'm going to put you over there, forget about that, anything maybe your brothers have taught you, and you just came in?
I listened to Tom, and Jay's a coach here, and also the other boxers. There's a lot of people here that have great records and have won tournaments, and you're just absorbing other people. No, but and it's hard because at my age, it's hard to sponge up all this information and try not to be set in the ways, but I didn't know much about it, right? Yeah. You watch it on TV and it's really different.
You got your brother and your dad.
But I never
You never,
This is
they never
different.
give you advice or said do this. Do
No,
that?
there's a big difference between hitting a bag in a basement and then like sparring. Like
Yeah.
you are in a ring and someone's trying to punch you in the face.
Yeah.
You have to know how to move and take it. Not just sit there like this. You got to move. You parry and you're moving.
I
right?
wish I think I probably do have a video somewhere of Frank and your brother Steve sparring.
Yeah.
And Steve was taking the hits. And I was just like,
He was a brawler.
no way do I want to get in there. And
Yeah,
see
those
that,
guys
right?
were heavier than they were heavies.
They're big guys.
Yeah, big guys.
Yeah. And traveling, I mean, you Turks and Caicos, you were just at. What was that experience like?
I was fortunate to be a part of it. I don't even know how I got it. Well, it's because both my boys were fighting. And right now they have a registered group of fighters, and I just happened to be registered to fight, right? So they brought us down there, and it was the best moment of my life.
Yeah. And then there with your boys too.
Well, that's because of it. We all from the get-go, I wanted to fight on the same card with my kids.
Yeah.
So all three of us, 3 Wyvilles on a card.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to be at Brampton Cup, but my guy backed out. So I went there, and then he backed out. So we didn't all 3 of us fight at the last Brampton Cup. But then this came up, and it was crazy. Like the ring, the whole experience. We drove down there. There was a billboard with the poster on it. So we made a billboard.
Really?
I'm like, yeah. It's like we didn't even know. We look over and they're like, we're on a billboard. What? Oh my! What the?
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it was crazy. The mayor of the Turks was there. It was emotional.
How so?
So like a month before these fights. So this is a big deal too because Turks wasn't registered with World Boxing. So this was the first time Turks. So now they can actually compete, but they weren't registered. So now they are. So it was a big event. Like they had the mayor and all these sports people there.
That's a big deal.
However, their coach, these kids, and these people were just so nice and great. Well, their coach was out fishing with his son, and the boat tipped. And this is what I heard. I don't mean if I'm not giving justice to this, but there was he emptied the gas tank can and gave it to his son to swim to shore and said, don't look back or something like that. And it was just so, It was heartbreaking and I felt so bad. And it was just such a strong story. And he drowned and the dad drowned and they had a tribute to the coach. And it was just, so you're standing there and they did this tribute and his son came in the ring and we're just standing there and it was just, your eyes are tearing up.
You're a dad too, and
I'm a dad and I see this kid and I'm like, oh my gosh. And I was the first fight. So right like 15 minutes later, I had to go fight and I'm like, oh my God, I just wanted to hug this kid and just everyone. And it was just really moving and sad. And then, but then the night went on and the fights were great and there was like pyrotechnics. Like I walk out and there's like pyrotechnics. I'm like, what the heck? It's like, and it was streamed. You can look it up. Turks and Caicos versus Canada. It's on YouTube. But it was just a unreal event. And yeah, it was crazy.
And now moving forward, you get to go to Scotland at some point.
So the next thing is we're all fighting in Sarnia on Saturday.
Right.
And then Scotland at the end of the month, and then Quebec, the Quebec Cup right after that. So May and the end of last month have just been crazy. Go, 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 go.
So you're in this ring, and then of course, and at some point I'll talk to your boys too as a highlight. But you're not just a dad watching your boys box. You're a boxing dad watching your boys box, and it'd be a little bit different than if I was just the dad going and cheering them on, right? You know, like what's it like to watch them?
It's interesting because how do I answer that? It's so exciting. Yeah, because I'm right there. Like in Scotland, I'll be right in their corner. And it's just exciting because everything they worked on comes this one moment, right? 3 rounds. Yeah. And it's all there and you're just, and then I'm in the corner with Tom and then you're so close and and then you're looking for those, and I let Tom call out the calls.
I was going to say, how is that hard for you to be there and not yell out?
Oh, no, I do. If I can see something really good, right, left hook.
Yeah.
If it's really good, I'll call it, but I let Tom call it. But yeah, no, there's a couple times you can't help it. You're just like, but you don't say stuff like, get him, hit him.
Yeah, but you want
right. But you're calling it. You're looking for that right hook to the body. If you see the guy up there and you see that opening where Adam doesn't see it, you're right hook to the body, boom, and you're like, yes, it's neat. It's like playing chess with someone else's hands, right? Yeah, it's so exciting.
And at their age, 15 and 17?
15 and 17.
So they're young boys, becoming young. They're kind of like young boys becoming young men. They're right in the middle there, and you get to see this growth in them.
It's amazing. It keeps it, and that's one thing. Boxing is, I do worry about getting hit in the head. Not me. There ain't much.
No, you worry about their safety.
I worry about getting hit in the head and all this stuff. But at the same time, they're not out on the streets causing trouble. They're not partying and drugs and all this. So it's all sports. Sports, can right?
I think it's great
because you can't be out partying and box. You need that. You need your adrenaline. You need your cardio, right? So
I've seen a couple people try and it just doesn't work out.
Oh yeah, well you can go for maybe a beer or two, but I mean party like you know what I mean. You got to be pretty focused, but pretty dedicated for any sport, but for boxing it's intense. It's intense, and to watch them, and Noah's doing so good. They both won gold at Brampton Cup last year, so it was just amazing. Noah's doing fantastic.
Was it him or Adam was at the nationals that we had?
Noah.
And that was an exhibition fight for him?
Yeah, I think he did an exhibition at the nationals.
Yeah.
And he's been to the training camp with the national team. He doesn't fight for the what is it called? A wild card? He may get an opportunity or something, but he's trained with them and he's all in. He loves it.
And I mean, so we're talking about you having this experience and the excitement that you have from being there. You got a 15 and a 17-year-old boys getting this experience, which for them is probably exciting, but from a different perspective as young fellas, right? And to have that experience at that young age, that you must stand back and look at that and you watch them experiencing.
Love it. I love this. This is like one of the best parts of my life right now.
Yeah.
Which is weird. And I'm in the best shape.
Why is it weird?
Well, just all the stuff I've done in my life. It came to like boxing. Like I was
life-changing.
I've done stage shows. I've done stand-up comedy. I've done all kinds of stuff, creative stuff.
Yeah.
And then now I'm here. This ain't, well, I guess maybe creative with my hands,
suppose,
but this is not.
This wasn't originally on the list.
Doing stand-up comedy and magic shows and stuff like that, so but it's addicting, and there's nothing like the winning is unreal. Like even with the joy of the losing sucks. But when you take it as a sport and congratulate your opponent, however, the winning, when you win that, because you defeated one person and you don't have a team like a sports team, right? Where it was all just you. You couldn't rely on this guy or that guy. It's just you and him. It's kind of medieval. I don't know. But like I said, I won't be doing this I do miss doing my other stuff. I miss performing. I miss doing that stuff. But right now I'm locked in.
Let's, and this is kind of going back in time a little bit. Like I remember, and I remember, you doing some magic stuff. Actually, I think that was the last time I interviewed you. We were in your basement and you were like doing all this magic stuff. And I remember kind of thinking like, this is fun, but I don't know where he's going with this. And then like, you didn't just invest to the learning side of it. You invested a lot of money in magic and stuff like that. And, some people might look at that and go like, okay, that's fun. He's having fun. But you actually generated an income from that kind of thing. And then you went from magician to Jaden the Jester was a part of all that.
Yep.
To even being on the Dragon's Den and didn't you get told off?
Well, no, I wish they played the whole thing because me and Kevin went back and forth. But they played like a minute.
Didn't he say he was gonna do something?
He got mad because I met him at a book signing because he wrote a book.
Right.
And during his book signing, I bought his book and he was signing it. And I go, hey, I wrote a book, the Digward the Dog books. Can I get a picture of you? So I have a picture of Kevin O'Leary holding one of my Digward the Dog books. So fast forward, because like I said, I think Kevin O'Leary came.
I still have those books, by the way.
I think he came here to
Yes.
Sarnia. Anyway, so fast forward, I go on Dragon's Den as Jaden the Jester and to promote these kids' books. And I gave each dragon a copy of my book to look at while I'm doing my pitch. Kevin opens it up and sees himself holding that
Oh, you put the picture in there?
yeah. And he looked at it and goes, you photocopied this? I'm suing. Or photoshopped it. He goes, you photoshopped me in this picture? I'm suing. And I'm like, Photoshop? I did not. That's you. He goes, I did not pose for this. And I go, yeah. And his son was at the book sign. I go, that's your son right beside you. And then I think it all clicked, and he hated that. He
didn't like being wrong.
Yeah, he hated me. He hated me for that.
Yeah. But you went on to, like, you know, and I remember, I still have the I think it's 2 of the books that you gave me. Well, but I kept them. And I remember, like, the Kevin Wyville I know, like some would say, oh, well, he's wild and party and whatever, like, but you really are a focused individual. Like, when you said...
Well, there was a time I was focused on partying.
Yeah, right, you were focused. No, but I mean, like, the magic thing, for example.
Right, yeah.
I remember people saying, oh, it's empty,
Yeah.
crazy, right? And then, oh, he's going to write a book. Oh, yeah, okay, sure. And dragons, you know, but, like, you don't let any of that get in your head, do you?
No.
Do you just ignore it, or do you use that as a fuel in the fire?
I kind of just did whatever I wanted.
Yeah.
Right? I wanted to write kids' books, I did it. But I wanted to do stand-up comedy, I did it.
Yeah.
I wanted to do boxing, I just did it. But I realized when you do stuff, you got to put it all in, right? So, no, I never I just kind of do what I want to do.
Yeah.
And sometimes you got to make sometimes what you want to do costs money. Like those
Sure.
books, I put a lot into it.
Sure.
But I did, and what I did too with those books was I wanted to get it out. So I'd go to schools and I'd promote them and do this, and I'd go there. And I was traveling all over Southwest Ontario promoting those books, going to bookstores. So I put a lot into it to get the money back out.
You put the sweat equity in.
Yeah. So, and kind of same with this. I put the sweat equity into this to get something out of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you have a class today, Justine?
It's just me and 2 other girls.
When are they coming?
They should be here any minute.
That's fine.
Okay.
Are you guys recording?
Yeah,
Yeah, we're just doing a little interview.
Okay. Did you already do it?
we're doing it right now.
We're doing her. Yeah, you're on. That's Justine.
It's okay.
Is
Well,
it okay if we're in the
yeah, have fun.
Okay.
Just no music. Is that Justine?
That's Justine.
Oh yeah, that's her. How you doing? I interviewed her years ago.
Oh, you got the interview?
Years ago, she was a young gal. But that, yeah, like your focus and where did the magic come from? Like, you woke up one day and said, I want to do magic. I mean,
No,
magic is so much fun.
I always liked magic, but when I wrote those kids' books, I wanted to promote them. And I'm like, okay. I went to a couple of schools and I'm like, I read them and then I was like, okay, any questions? And I'm like, I need something else.
Right.
So then I started looking up magic and then I got addicted. I started going to Abbott's Magic Convention in the States, one of the biggest magic conventions.
And it's a lot of work too, magic. It's not just...
Oh, I went all out. Like
you make it look simple, and a good magician does, but there's a lot of rehearsal.
Yep.
A lot of learning, a lot of
especially
skill.
close up. So
I was going to say.
in my stage show, I did a lot of prop magic, but then I started doing close up where I was doing adult shows with the close up stuff. I still love it.
And you know,
I still love it.
I want to guess, I've never done it, but there's 2 audiences that you were performing for. You just said adults and kids.
Yeah.
My guess would be that the adults are more forgiving than the kids. Like if an adult sees how you did it, they just smile and keep going with it. Does a kid
100%.
point it out? They go, it's right behind your back there.
That's why you just try and get so good you
Right?
don't give them, or you have an out and you
Is that accurate though?
I
The kid's tougher?
had tricks that would lure him into saying that.
Oh yeah?
And they'd be like, it's on your back, and then on my back would be something else. So there's tricks to lure them. So and those are the best. Because then you'd be like, no, it's not. No, and you turn back, it's something different, right?
And
So
they're like, whoa.
that's the kind of magician I was, where I was more
I've seen you in
goofy, and
actions.
then I'd reel him in, and then, oh, it's not what you think.
Yeah, I've seen you in action with that. I remember being at a few events, and honestly, I would see you, and I'd go, "Oh, I gotta go over there. I just want to see what you want to see." I mean, who doesn't love magic? We're all kids when it comes to magic.
Oh, I love it. I still love it.
On
I've
every
seen.
level. Do you have a magician that you looked up to, famous or not?
I like comedy magic, so
Yeah.
no, I don't know. That's I'd have to think about that. There's a couple fun ones, but I've seen a lot of like live shows
Yeah.
where they're non-famous people, where it was just spectacular. I've seen David Copperfield, Penn and Teller. I've seen all these people,
Oh, yeah,
but
Penn and
there's
Teller.
amateur ones that are like will blow your mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know about favorite.
It must be. What's it like as a magician to watch another magician? Like, do you sit there and go, "Yeah, I know how that's done."
For the most part, there's all the same concepts, but then when people start switching it, yeah, in your presentation for the most part, but no, there's some, like Shin Lim, that guy, there's some really good close-up magic where you're like, dude, that was good.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah.
what I like.
Yeah.
You know, when you're doing coin magic and you're doing this and then all of a sudden it's gone, you're like, dude, that was good. And you're sitting right there. So I've also, this campground, the Abbott's Magic Get Together, that's what it's called.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's huge. I think it's on its 80th year. But I've sat at campgrounds with excellent magicians and just sit there this close, and my mind was blown, going, that is the coolest thing. And I even know the concepts, but yeah, I love it.
And do magicians tell other magicians their secrets? Because that's the number one rule: is a magician never tells.
Not really. It depends.
Yeah.
Like, it depends. If
you
you
want-
want
like,
to, if
do
you
you
want to
ask?
learn it, if you wanted to learn it to do, or
Here, pay me.
right? No,
Teach
like
me.
to buy that trick maybe and go,
Yeah.
oh, I need that trick. Where'd you get that? I got to do that. Or a certain move. There's moves that you can do. You're like, what was that move? You know, you're flicking, go, oh, come on, teach me that. It depends. Yeah, I was taught a lot.
Yeah, I would think, like cards for the obvious. I think just their portability make for a good gimmick, right? You know, to learn cards, but card magic is like, there's super skilled folks out there that like can pick up a card and they, by weight can tell you what it is. I don't know, like mechanics.
Same with coins. Coins, when
Mechanics.
people are having
Coins,
coins
right?
and
They're
they're
so
doing
easy,
that,
there's
you're
always
like,
one
whoa.
around, right?
No, I loved it.
Do you have a favorite kind of magic? Like, I know close-up you said, but like
I like close-up because you're right there, right?
Yeah.
I like stage stuff, but the close-up, you're like, if you can fool someone that close, this close, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
So,
and it's impressive to the audience member if we're right here and you perform right now and you fool me, like,
yeah.
Well, I was waiting. Speaking of fool me, you say Penn and Teller. I remember thinking one day, I thought, boy, I wouldn't be shocked at all if Wyville showed up on Fool Us.
I had one thing that I would do. There's one thing that I started creating. It's a twist on something, but I thought about this. Just the one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got one thing.
How cool would that? Would that have been in front of those two guys? I mean, anybody who was on that show, whether they fooled him or not, or just like to perform in front of these two brilliant magicians.
Have you seen them?
They're only on television. I had a chance to see them.
They did a show in Windsor.
Yeah, and my wife normally gets tickets, and I couldn't go, and I almost cried because I just, like, I did it when I was a kid, but I mean, I have no interest. I'm the performer side. I'm the entertainer, right? So I love the trick or the illusion, but I love to me the presentation. Even if I do happen to catch, and I've caught Penn and Teller, putting a ball over here or whatever.
Yeah.
And honestly, I've watched it where you can see he put it over there, and I think to myself, I think he wanted me to look there because they're that good.
They're that good.
There's no way he messed that up.
They're
right?
that good.
So no, I haven't. But
Copperfield was cool to see.
The performance, I would have loved to see.
Yeah, his show was neat.
Perform. I mean, I did on television as a kid, right? But that back then there was a little television magic going on as well too.
I think I saw him 10 years ago in Vegas or something. And it was neat. He made a car appear and stuff. But he
Right.
did this one trick which I really liked is there's a pillar right in front of the audience. So you're surrounding this pillar, and inside was a balloon inside of another balloon.
Oh.
And so it's sitting there, so you see like a clear balloon with like a little red balloon inside it, whatever color it was. And then he stepped back and does his thing, and then the inside balloon popped, right?
Yeah.
Not the outside. It's just sitting there, and all of a sudden the inside balloon popped. And I'm like, I love that. That's so simple.
Yeah.
It's so simple, but it's neat, and it's right in front of you. So
Yeah.
imagine holding a balloon, and then the inside one pops.
Right.
How the heck did you do that?
Right.
I have some ideas.
That's what keeps you coming back, though, right?
Well,
But
that
yeah,
was neat.
But yeah, the presentation, and he was a very he was a performer. Like he was a kind of a dancey flair kind of performer, right?
His is high end. He's got
yeah.
like an electric robot, like alien thing. Like it's
Yeah.
His show is pretty.
I remember as a kid watching him on television and seeing him get cut in half with a giant blade. I mean, this was as a kid, so that, it was like, I don't know, 79, 80 when I first saw him, and I had a magic kit and I wanted to do things and stuff, but you congratulations for you doing on that. How was Jaden born?
Actually, that was from a dream. I had a dream when I was in high school that I was a court jester.
Yeah.
Yeah, and castles and all this, and then I actually wrote a novel about Jane the Jester. So I released it. It's
yeah?
a published novel.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Return to the Golden Kingdom, I think it's called.
Oh, okay.
And I wrote the second one. I had it edited, but I never released it. And it was the story of this jester and blah blah blah. It's neat. Put a lot of time into that. But then when I wrote the kids' books, my dogs, little Jack Russells, had puppies. I named them all silly names: Shoebox, Chopper, Digward. And then I wrote these goofy stories. And then I got an artist to put the artwork to them. And then I wrote another book and then another one. And I sold like 5,000 of them. So I think I'm considered a best-selling author by Canadian standards. I think if you sell 5,000 books. But then they kind of stalled. Right when COVID hit, everything stopped.
Yeah.
Everything just stopped. The performing, the doing anything, it all stopped.
So what did you do through COVID to keep your creative?
Well, I built the gym, so I started working out. Right, started working out, and then then the boxing came.
Yeah.
And then the boxing, right when COVID was done, the gyms were opening up, so we got to go to the gyms, and then.
Do you have a list
of
checking them off the box?
No, I do want to go back to the magic stuff. I like performing for kids and stuff, and those stage shows were awesome, man. They were so fun, and just bringing kids on stage and interacting with the kids was the funniest thing, because you ask them questions, the audience is there, and they're so funny, and you do a little magic.
And you must enjoy the reaction of mom and dad and
I loved it.
And their
so fun.
grandparents and whatever, right?
So fun.
Did kids teach you anything out of doing all of that? Did you learn anything?
It was just.
You just never surprised?
It was just fun.
Yeah.
Just fun.
It's that simple.
Innocent fun.
Yeah.
Right? Did I learn anything? I don't know. Just to interact with them. Like I learned when I was doing my shows, is don't make it just about you. Bring those kids up. Bring them up. Let them be a part of the show, because it's like, remember that show where they'd interview kids and kids say the darndest thing? It's like that, right?
Yeah, right?
You give a kid a microphone and ask him, it's hilarious.
I know.
It's funny. Funny.
Recently, actually.
But I miss that.
And they're so honest.
It's funny because,
they're funny and they're not even trying to be funny.
I was on stage doing that, people watching me do that, and now people I'm on a different kind of stage.
A different stage, yeah. And then, so Magic and Jaden, and but I mean the list of why can't I think? Bucket list. Is there anything like jumping out of a plane, bungee jump? Is there anything you haven't done yet that's on that list, or you just don't know?
There's things I want to do again, like just get back into acting.
Yeah, but anything you haven't done yet?
Well, I haven't had a big role, right? Like in a movie or something.
Yeah.
Just get that one good role
Just one time, eh?
where a good one is, right?
Yeah. Do you have a favorite actor?
No, I like the classics, Arnold, you know.
Yeah, right.
Just the classics. And I love movies. Like, I love them.
Yeah, and you were in some local movies too, weren't you? Didn't
Yeah,
you play,
Red Ryan.
Yeah,
Red
that's
Ryan.
right, Red Ryan. You played bad guy, didn't you?
Yeah, I was the getaway driver in
Yeah.
Red Ryan. And that was a good one. And then he's got the other one, the war movie.
Yeah.
I forget what it was called now. Because he changed the title all along the gate.
Oh, okay. How was that though, Red Ryan? Like to participate in, like, we watch the final thing on a screen and we just go, wow. Like I was watching like making a Star Wars and I see this, young Luke Skywalker. Like it was like 12 weeks to shoot this, lightsaber scene with Darth Vader. For 2 minutes.
Yeah,
right?
These were quicker shoots. I think.
Yeah.
I think in a month he made them, or they were quicker.
Yeah.
But
the experience
we did
of understanding how a camera sits.
Oh, I love
that
it.
stuff.
I absolutely love the whole thing.
Would you sooner be in front or behind?
I did both. I was a boom mic operator.
Oh, okay.
When I wasn't acting, I was doing the boom mic for these. He did like 3 films.
Yeah.
Red Ryan, The Black Donnellys.
Oh, that's the one, right?
Yeah, that one was good. That was cold. We filmed some of those scenes in the
What did you play
in the
in that?
winter. Huh?
What were you in that?
In the lynch mob.
Yeah.
I was like a lynch mob guy. Big beard. My beard was down to there. And then the war movie, I shaved it all off, and that was a cool experience. I love doing that one. That was super fun.
Yeah.
I had a couple words in there, a couple lines, but that was great.
But what about your own movie? Like, I mean, YouTube's waiting for you, I think.
I know. I do skits and stuff, but right now it's literally training.
Yeah.
Every night
because
for
that takes time.
I'm doing a lot of training. Like sometimes I was doing 10 sessions a week doing this.
Wow.
Right, and then just to keep my cardio, and I'm also like I'm sparring people 3/4 my age, so I got to keep up.
Right, you got something to prove there, don't you?
Yeah, you got to keep up.
Yeah.
It's I'm no spring chicken.
Right.
But
do you so outside of boxing though, what do you do for fun?
Nothing. This is it.
This is the fun, right?
This is it. For the past year, it's full head on. This is what I do. My diet, my cardio, my jogging, my work.
Best shape of your life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this is it. I'm full on. This is it.
Well, you're a tamer too. Let me just.
I am a little tamer.
He's a bit of a tamer, and I'll tell you why. I remember, and I remember my wife Jennifer and I seeing this video, and we both looked at each other and went, "Only Wyville, you had a squirrel for a friend."
Yeah, a pet squirrel.
A pet squirrel.
I've had 2 pet squirrels
and
that I
just
found.
tamed them right down.
And a raccoon.
Yeah.
I had the baby raccoon was fun too.
I remember going like because we have a squirrel
Joey.
lives around our fence, and I call him Phil, but he still won't. He looks at me like I'm in his way.
I found a little. It was so small when I found it, and I took him home and put him in a little box and fed him, and then raised him until he was like a squirrel. And it was great. He used to run all over sharp claws, but then I introduced him to the outside and let him play outside. Then he'd come back inside, and then eventually I
Set him free.
full time. But then he'd come I still think he comes because I keep leaving peanuts, right? So or
Right.
food, so he keeps coming back. But I've done it twice. There was Buddy the squirrel and Joey the squirrel, and then there was a raccoon I did for a bit. But then I had a pet raccoon, but I couldn't get anybody to give him shots. And then I was like, right, if I can't get him vaccines, I would have paid. I would have kept that raccoon. He was so cute. When I was young, we had one. My mom had 2 raccoons.
Yeah.
We had them. So, yeah.
Growing up with your brothers, one was a police officer, another one's an entrepreneur. I think would that be the best way to describe Jeff?
Well, right now, no. Jeff's at the Confed Golf Course or Greystone Golf Course,
Yeah.
so it's a family thing with him, Julie,
Yeah.
and Ray and Louise. But yeah, he's full time at the golf course.
Are you a golfer?
No.
No.
I should be. My brother has a
Well,
golf
that's what
course, and I don't
just gotta,
golf.
like, take advantage of
I got
it,
nice
right?
brand new golf clubs I've used probably 3 times.
Yeah.
It's hard in the summer. I'm so busy with the roofing and that.
Yeah.
It's a seasonal job. So.
And what about the boys? Like, okay, obviously boxing, but are they, that career-wise, are they looking at like going pro with boxing, or are they going to school, or are they what's?
Adam's still in high school. Noah's about to go to Lambton College to be an electrician.
Okay.
If it was his choice, he'd probably live in my basement for the rest of his life and chase his dreams of being a boxer.
Right.
I just want him to get that education, and we can work on doing both. But let's
Right.
get that education
Yeah.
and go from there, just to see. Because boxing, you know, it's a great opportunity, but
Well, and who's to say he couldn't, right? I
it
mean, like,
could, but I don't know. We'll just kind of
I always
play it
look
out.
at that, you know, people say, you know, like, okay, like education's good, don't get me wrong, I'm not against having education. I'm kind of the guy, though, too, that, like, well, Eddie Murphy was actually one to say, I never had a plan B, I have a plan A. There's no, you know, sometimes you fall off the track, but it's always plan A. And to be in an environment like this with, you know, Tom Hennessy and supportive, like, and I know their mom is very supportive of them. You know, seen her at the fights and everything. It gets excited for
She
the boys.
gets a little nervous.
Yeah,
She gets a little nervous.
She's mom. She's allowed to.
Yeah.
She's
She's
making up
starting
for
to-
you.
She's what?
She's making up for what you're not. Right?
She's well, I was like, actually, no, I don't get nervous because I train with my boys,
you get
right?
it more,
I
yeah.
spar my
That way,
boys.
that you see
we
it
punch each
firsthand.
other.
Yeah,
I know what it's like to be punched. I know what it's like to box. So I see it. For someone not to see it, a family member not to see, and not just my boys, all the people that are fighting, for a relative not to see the sparring and that, and they just sit there and go, "Oh my, they're go, he's punching him." Oh, right. But when you get like, it is strange.
But she's there at the fights and she's cheering
Yep,
them on,
yep.
and that's good.
Yep.
And I think, I don't know if I creep people out when I say this. I watch from afar. I watch people. I remember being people, and I've seen you. I saw you at the Nationals, and I've watched your videos, and I've seen you grow, and I've cheered for it. Oh, look at that's right on, man. Like, good for you, right? You know, and for whatever reason, all of a sudden we make changes in our life for the better, healthier, whatever. I just think that's awesome, and it goes to show that you're passing, you know, these philosophies, if you will, onto your boys.
Yeah.
That I'm sure, like, even though, like, Tom's the coach, you give dad advice, do you? As far as their boxing goes?
Do I give them?
You give them dad advice. Like,
big
he's
time.
coach, but you're
big
dad
time.
advice.
Yeah, big time.
What sort of advice do you give the boys?
Well, that's one thing is that I want him to go to college.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Go to college, get an education, just everything. From cleaning up after yourself when you make breakfast, like just everything.
Yeah.
Right? And the one thing where, like Noah especially, is learning to cook.
Oh, yeah.
So he cooks and we eat healthy, and to learn how to wake up and go, hey, I can make myself some steak and eggs and some, you know, sweet potato fries. Like, to learn that, I think it's a good skill to learn how to
Yeah,
cook.
I never learned. I burned water.
But you know what I mean?
But
like,
no, you're right.
And I didn't know how to cook when I first moved
think
out
it's
on
a
my
good-
own,
yeah.
right? So for
It is a skill for sure to have.
Oh yeah, I'm always doing my daddy talks.
Yeah. Do they see it coming? They go, here we go. Here's another story.
Oh yeah, they're hilarious. Oh yeah,
Mine does too. It's
yeah, and then they'll punch me in the face if I go to if they get mad at me. I'm not even kidding.
yeah. Well, I got to tell you, this is I've been trying for some time. Boy, you're a tough one to nail down. I know
It's
you're busy.
literally because of here. I'm here every night,
Yeah,
so
I
it's
know.
like you had to come
It's
get
like,
me.
It's like, okay, I'm coming. And does Tuesday work? Yeah, perfect, right on. So, thank you so much,
thanks,
my friend.
Dave.
I'm really proud to see you accomplish what you've set out to do, and it's been a story like that I've watched for 10 years anyway. 14 years ago for the show. So that you were one.
14 years. Yeah, that's cool.
And it was in your basement that with all these cool comics and toys and magic he was performing, and a glass of wine might have been involved.
Might have been involved.
But now here you are, years later, and you're doing really well. And
Yeah.
just so you know, a lot of people are talking about that, saying, "Wow, look at Wyville go." So good for you, and congratulations
Thanks.
on your success.
Thanks.
So there you go, Kevin Wyville. We finally nailed him down. He's trying to get me in the race. Not happening, and if we do, I'm not showing it. But you know what I'm going to say. Click the love button and click the share button. It's the most important button. You can click to share Kevin's story and everybody else I have here in the show. But as always, that's all the time I got for you this week. Have a great week and an even better weekend. We'll see you next time right here on the show. Bye for now.